Hello everybody, welcome back to the Vintage Electronics channel. Recently I picked up this Walkman for really cheap because it didn't work, and I think we've got a belt problem with it. So today we're going to talk about how to replace the belts in these later cassette Walkmans. Stay tuned. Alright, so these old Walkman are actually pretty easy to replace the belts on. As Sony got further and further into these, they really cheapened them up a little bit. These are quite plasticky, and if you look, there are no screws anywhere to be found on this Walkman. They actually clipped these together, and down in here there are actually 3 different clips that need to be released. So use just a screwdriver down in there to pry those clips out of the way. Get those clips out, and then we'll take a look inside. Alright, so once we break those clips loose, this is the mechanism inside the Walkman, and there should be a belt running all the way around here, and there it is. It looks like it has turned to goop and wrapped itself around this pulley here, and these things get nasty. So we'll pull that off as good as we can. Looks like it's wrapped around there real good. And that's the problem with these old belts. They just turn to almost a sticky, nasty rubber goop that just sticks to everything. And on these old Walkman, it can actually get down inside the motor itself and create all sorts of problems. I'm going to grab some isopropyl alcohol and see if we can get that loosened up and off of that pulley a little bit. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back now with our isopropyl alcohol, and I found that that's really the best thing to really break loose that gunk from those belts. And what you want to do after you've picked out as much as you can, and I normally use a knife in there, a thin blade will help get it out of the groove on that pulley. We want to make sure that all of that gunk is out of there, because if you leave any of that black stuff in that pulley, it's just going to catch that new belt and tear it up. So it's really, really important to be sure that all those pulleys are clean, that there's none of that belt gunk left inside of there. And as we can see, that's pretty nasty. So I'll grab another swab here, go back through those. Make sure they're coming out clean, which they are now. Check the main pulley on the motor, rotate that around on that swab, make sure we get everything out of there. Looks like we're pretty good. Now, belts can be found literally anywhere, eBay, Amazon, and you can get an entire package of different size belts for just a few dollars, so they don't cost that much at all. This is the closest size that I could find. Now, the routing on this style of Walkman is the main pulley over the top of the first one here, all the way around the other. That's on there. Now, before anybody jumps and says that the belt's twisted, this is a square belt. It's going to straighten itself out as this thing runs. See, it's already straightened itself out. So it looks like we've got Everything running pretty smoothly there. Not too bad. Alright, so let's get this thing put back together and see if we fixed our problem. Alright, so we're put back together. The back case just snaps right back on the opposite way it came off, and actually a little bit easier than it came off. Put our belt clip back on there. I've already put a couple of batteries in it. If we open it up, I know it's kind of hard to see with the contrast, but if we hit play, we've got motion there. Auto stop works. Put us a tape in here, and I can see it moving in the window. Fast forward, rewind, play. Looks like we're working. So changing the belts in these is not too hard to do. Your average do-it-yourselfer, I think, could get that done pretty easily and save an old Walkman from being thrown in the trash. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helps you out. This was the Walkman WM-EX102, but I know there are other EX models like the 610 that are pretty similar to this. I think the 310 or 320 is also pretty close. So if you've got one of these later Walkman that don't have screws, it should be a pretty similar setup for you to replace the belts on yours. So hope you guys enjoyed. We'll take a look at some more Walkman repairs and everything as we go along, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.